Hey everyone. So I was just surfing Hacker News today, and as you know, Mozilla laid off 250 employees recently, and people have been tweeting about the Mozilla Lifeboat. They're just kind of hiring Mozillans out. If you can hire them, definitely check it out. But I was super impressed by this site made by Greg Koberger, who is actually the CEO of README. So like he just like whipped this up in his free time or something, in between running a major unicorn. But yeah, this is the site, and it just lists the number of open jobs for Mozillans. But I'm not commenting about that. I'm just commenting about this thing on the right, which is this red Firefox, which is a red panda, and it looks like it's on the sea, and it's a lifeboat. It's that's where the panda is kind of coming in to be saved. But what's really amazing is that this is SVG animation, and we talk a little bit about that in this thread, and I was like, I could not put this together in a week if I tried. And this guy just like does it, and he was like, I had to get it out quick, so I went simple. What the actual fuck? So I was like, all right, I need this. I need to break this down because I will feel inadequate if I don't know how to do this. So what I did, I mean, it's SVG. Like you can select all these parts, you can animate them independently, and he's used a program, I think it's Sketch, to label all these with the appropriate IDs. He did take some awareness to construct them with separate pieces that can be moved and expanded. So there is some trickery going on in the Sketch layer, which we won't be able to see. But what he did do was provide us with this SVG, raw SVG. It's auto generated with Sketch, and this is all you start with. So I've copied that out into this little REPL thing, and that's what we have now. And I just wanted to break down what makes this floating sea 3D illusion, which is just so compelling. So the first thing we're going to add to this, because it's kind of plain, is that we're just going to add a nice linear gradient, 45-degree, light blue to dark blue, and this gives a sense of the ocean. So you can already see the artistic direction in here, which is just in one goddamn gradient is like, this is such a good choice. Okay, and then like this is kind of in the corner-ish, so let's bring it out a bit and add our first animation, right? So here we're just gonna make it a little bit bigger. We're gonna rotate it so it doesn't look so stiff, and then we're gonna add an animation. This is just a simple keyframe between 30 degrees and 45 degrees, and it's on a very very long 8.3 second loop, and it's easing out. So you can really see like it's kind of like a slow, gentle motion, but it's just turning. It's not really doing much. It's just turning, right? It's not really floating on a sea like level. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding some sort of cross current ideal, and so instead of rotating, now we're also doing translate X for the entire boat. The problem with doing it for the boat is that the head is kind of just like out of place. You can see it kind of just moves weirdly. So then we're going to have to animate the head as well. And this one, I honestly don't know how to pick these values. So all the values for the boat, instead of the overall sort of turning, all the values are 1.4 seconds. For this head, I honestly don't know how it's calculated, but it more or less just moves together with the boat, and that's good enough. But I think this has to be done through tooling. I don't know how else you do this head rotation thing. Okay, so now we have a moving boat, but it's still kind of on a flat surface, right? You want to really get the sense that it's a sea with some choppy waves. So now we're going to add some shadow, and we just move the shadow left and right. Here we're just translating it by 6 pixels left, and it's just easing in and out. You already get the sense of like, okay, this is going up and down, right? So it has a longer shadow. The light's coming from the top right. So that's good on the bottom of the boat. But then now we got to do the inside of the boat. The first thing we're going to start doing is we're going to do the top deck. So that's right over here, and that's the top deck shadow. So you can see one of the details that's here is that the bottom shadow being lower is moving by 6 pixels. The top deck, because there's a shorter distance between the top deck and the side of the boat, which is making the shadow. It's only 3 pixels. So that's a really nice attention to detail. And I mean, you're telling me you did this by hand? Like, what the fuck? So of course, if we want to really give the sense of rocking, then as people looking from the top down, we should be able to see the side of the boat as it turns a little bit. So you can see this white here. So let me put it back. I'm going to delete it. You don't see any white. You just see the increased shadow, and it will be good enough in normal occasions. But he's already set up the sketch so that there is a white in there. It's just hidden normally, and now we're going to reveal it whenever we tilt a little bit with that boat. Okay, so keep going. So this is still static, whereas this is moving. So that's a little bit weird. The light should not behave like that. So we just got to replicate it for that as well. Oh, actually, first we got to do the same thing for the outside. So now we have the outside coming in as well, together with the shadow. So that's good. Okay, and then the last piece is to get the inside of the right-hand side to also move. So we're going to have that tilt as well. So now you can really get the sense of all sides of the boat tilting. There's a lot more detail in the SVG animation. Basically, I downloaded the thing and formatted it. And so that's how I break it down. So he's also animating the body of the panda, and we haven't shown that yet, but it's only animating by like 1 pixel. So it's very, very incredibly detailed animation, and that's what gives the illusion that you're on a boat, on a wavy ocean. But the other thing I think that really makes this is some other element that sort of reinforces that. So here he's got the shore, and it's kind of coming in with that wave, and even has that white breaks. So just really insanely good animation. It's simple, it looks simple, but it's actually not. Right? There's so many small little details that come with this, and you're telling me you just whip this together? That's amazing. But anyway, so that's that's kind of like the breakdown of just the boat. I think these are just like interesting 3D animation principles that could be used. I will never do this. I mean, I could try, but like I don't know how you do this and be a CEO of a huge company. So kudos to Greg. And hire Mozillans.